Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a huge forest. In the middle of this forest stood a big tree. Underneath this tree lived an ant. This ant worked hard all day long. Every day, he would go out into the forest and look for food. Then he would bring the food back to his colony and store it up for the winter. One day, while the ant was out looking for food, he saw something strange in the sky. All of the stars had fallen except for one. This little star was shining brighter than all the others. The ant was amazed. He had never seen anything like this before. As the days went by, the ant continued to stare at the bright star every night. He didn't understand why it didn't fall like all the other stars did. One day, he decided that he just couldn't take it anymore. He had to know why the star didn't fall. So he went to the wisest animal in the forest, the owl, and asked him the question. The owl was very wise, but even he didn't know the answer to the ant's question. He told the ant that he would have to go on a journey to the top of the mountain to find the answer. The ant didn't hesitate. He knew that he had to do this if he was going to find out the truth about the star. So the ant began his journey. He walked past bushes and trees, over rocks and streams. Finally, he reached the top of the mountain and saw a beautiful view. But he didn't have time to take in the view. He needed to find someone who could answer his question. He soon found a cave, and inside the cave lived a hermit. The hermit was very old and had seen many things during his lifetime. The ant explained his journey to the hermit and asked him why the star didn't fall. The hermit smiled when he heard the ant's question. He had known the answer all along, but he wanted to test the ant to see if he was worthy of the knowledge. He asked the ant to perform 3 tasks. If he completed all 3 tasks, the hermit would answer his question. The first task was to bring him some water from the top of the waterfall. The ant knew that this would be difficult, but he was determined to complete the task. He climbed to the top of the waterfall and, despite the slippery rocks, managed to get some water into a leaf. He then brought the water to the hermit, and he was very pleased. The second task was to bring him some food from the nest of the most dangerous bird in the forest. The ant knew that this would be dangerous, but he was determined to do it. He went to the bird's nest and, despite being almost caught several times, managed to grab some food. He then brought the food to the hermit, and again he was very pleased. The third and final task was to bring him some music from the most beautiful singer in the forest. The ant knew that this would be difficult, but he was determined to do it. He went to see the singer and, despite her trying to trick him several times, managed to get her to sing for him. He then brought the music to the hermit, and the hermit was very pleased. The hermit then gave the ant the answer he had been looking for. He told the ant that the reason the star didn't fall was because it was made of something different than the other stars. It was made of pure energy, and that's why it shone so brightly. The ant was sad to hear this, but he was also happy that he had learned something new. He thanked the hermit for his help and started his journey back home. On the way back, the ant saw the star in the sky, and it seemed to shine brighter than ever. The ant smiled. He now knew why the star didn't fall, and he was glad that he had learned something new. From that day on, whenever the ant saw the star, he remembered his journey and the valuable lesson he had learned.